What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's topic of discussion is going to be cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin. A lot of things going on right now. The Clarity Act is supposed to get voted on tomorrow. Bitcoin's price action is currently struggling, as it's been the last 5 to 6 months. And overall, the crypto market has been struggling the last few years. And I know it's very sad to hear, but I think that most of the altcoins are not going to make it out of this bear market. I know you don't want to hear it, but most of the altcoins are just as bad as meme coins, and I'm gonna get a lot of heat for saying this, but just look at the charts, guys. The charts don't lie, numbers don't lie. If you take a look at the performance over the last few years, it's been absolute downtrend and nothing else. The same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum has kind of been the biggest letdown, if I'm being super honest. It's just been in that consolidation range. It's absolutely disgusting, but we'll take a look at that later. Right now, let's talk about the Senate panel is set to vote on the landmark crypto regulation bill, which is historic, guys. A very historic event is going to happen tomorrow. Today's May 13th. It's going to happen tomorrow, May 14th. The Clarity Act would define regulators' jurisdiction over digital assets and resolve a dispute between crypto companies and banks over stablecoins. So why originally this Clarity Act took so long to pass? Well, it didn't pass yet, but why originally it took so long to get some sort of progress on this bill is because the crypto companies are kind of having a dispute with the banks over yield on stable coins. And it seems that they're finally come to some sort of solution and an outcome where both sides are happy. And I feel like the Clarity Act is that final hurdle that we need to hop over to get some institutional capital flowing in and to get some sort of performance out of the crypto market, because it's been absolutely disgusting behavior. No one has as much hopium as a crypto investor the last few years, guys. I mean, the things that they put you through between October 10th and squeezing out every single ounce of liquidity. The sentiment in the crypto community is absolutely dead. I've been around for a few years and I've never seen it like this. It's something new. But a central dispute and the legislation involves stable coins, digital tokens pegged to the US dollar, and whether crypto companies can offer rewards on them in the ways that compete with the bank deposits. So the banks are hanging on to this argument that crypto companies can offer rewards when the bank system is super outdated, right? They're giving you this little percent on your deposits and they're utilizing your money somewhere else. But I think that the bank structure and the whole finance structure right now is so outdated that they're just hanging on the last thread. Another thing I want to talk about is that I understand the frustration of seeing every single asset pump except for cryptocurrency, right? So we're seeing the S&P 500 put new all-time highs every single day. NASDAQ is up. Stocks are somewhat pumping. I mean, some have been dumping, but some are pumping. And then you have gold, who made the craziest historic run I've ever seen in my life, and it's hit all-time highs. And then you're sitting with your Farcoin or whatever cryptocurrency, and we're just waiting on the sidelines, and it's the suckiest feeling to be waiting, right? Everybody's super frustrated because at that point you could have taken your money and went somewhere else to get better returns than just waiting for cryptocurrency, for all this legislation. But you have to understand that cryptocurrency is fairly new, right? How long has the stock market been around for? How long has the cryptocurrency market been around for? The two don't compare. So this whole situation doesn't really make sense to me, and it smells kind of sketchy, if I'm being honest. As I said, just look at this NASDAQ graph, right? Look at the S&P 500. All-time highs, just straight pumps, and NVIDIA's been kind of pumping. NVIDIA's putting in all-time highs as well. AMD, really look at these green candles. And let's take a look at Ethereum. I just want to show you guys. Look at this Ethereum graph. How long have we been consolidating in the same range? Absolutely disgusting. We've been bleeding since the top. I wouldn't even call it an all-time high. I guess it is kind of an all-time high by like $20. But if we take a look last few months, we've been bleeding for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months of bleeding. Disgusting. I mean, when I look at this graph, I really want to throw up, because the amount of time people wasted just being in this consolidating range instead of letting their money work in the better markets, it's unbelievable. But let's get back to Bitcoin and what the price action is. And this is the thing that I'm talking about. We're getting good news about the Clarity Act, right? We're getting some sort of framework and we're getting some sort of legal work for the institutional capital, and we're still dumping. no good news is good enough for the crypto market industry. Literally every single thing. I mean, we are starting to see some sort of relief rally from the bottoms, like Chainlink, Solana, but not good enough, right? And Bitcoin is struggling with this fair value gap here, with the inefficiency. Previously, we got rejected from this inefficiency as well, right off the trend line. This is the textbook entry right here. And there's a few different scenarios that could happen with Bitcoin here. If we want to see some sort of pump, we need to close above 89,000, I think, right here. Let's do the lines. Let's do the lines. Horizontal line. We need to close right above here if we want to see some sort of pump. We are getting rejected. If we continue to get rejected, most likely we're going to see lower lows, and most likely we're going to end up right here. Where is this? That is $49,000 mark. Again, nothing is a financial advice, but if we do continue to reject, this is where we're going to end up. And you have to understand, you have to trade the market that you have and not have some sort of expectations, because the market doesn't care. The market moves based on liquidity. If there's liquidity sitting at the lower levels, it's going to take out the liquidity. If there's liquidity sitting at the higher levels, it's going to take out that liquidity as well. So it's kind of a one giant casino, because the market makers, they can see where your stops are placed, where your take profits are placed, and they will come for your liquidity. They're coming for every single dollar and for every single cent of your money. And it's, unfortunately, it's super sad, but trading is hard, right? If you are trading, and you kind of become the liquidity if you're trading, but if you're holding long term, you honestly shouldn't be affected by this. And as I said, if we continue to move down, right, we have the Clarity Act coming up. If this is just a manipulation on the weekly here before a continuation up, that's a very good possibility before the Clarity Act gets passed and we get some sort of pump, which is very doubtable, because cryptocurrency does not react to any sort of news unless it's bad news. If it's bad news, it just keeps dumping. Matter of fact, good news, it dumps too. In a bullish scenario, right, this is just a small manipulation, and we continue the trend higher because we already did our ABC correction. I'll show you guys right now. A, B, C. And then realistically, we could be forming a new uptrend, but that can only be confirmed with time. Right now, we don't have any confirmation. Right now, it looks like we're getting rejected off the inefficiency, but it takes time, guys, and the market needs to play out. You can't really rush it. All we can do is wait, because we could also roll and go lower and lower until these lows, right? The 48,000, that was an absolutely terrible mark, but that's how it is. As I said, the bullish scenario, we keep cracking this uptrend. If we take out 88,000, most likely we're going to pump higher. I do want to see that. Do I think it's going to happen? Possibly. I know it's terrible to say, but I cannot wait for everything else to crash and just cryptocurrency just pump every single day. But anyway, guys, this is my 2 cents on this whole situation. If you enjoyed the video, please go down and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.